Hi, welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
Hi, Maria Shahada. I
It's
had to get
almost a
that in there before we
disservice that
started.
everybody missed that. My neighbor's playing piano. I hate her. Anyway,
Ah, yeah,
uh,
bad technological day. That's why I'm a little bit late. But like because I was just saying how I was trying to I can't do anything. I can't like upload files because there's no space on my computer. So I put it on a hard drive to make the space on the computer, but I tried to transfer those files and the hard drive was like, "Well, we can't do that because there's an error." I'm like,
do you? Sorry, I'm. We're gonna. This is gonna be two technologically dumb people talk to each other. But like, do you have like WeTransfer? Can you just do hard drive to like a Dropbox or a WeTransfer? Like,
nothing seemed to be working because there was no room on my computer. So everything was in the cloud, but it couldn't download it to do it from the
oh,
computer. And it was just like, it was like, I'm trying to make space. And it's like, but there's no space. But I'm trying to help you.
dude, we had that issue because when we first started doing the podcast in 2020, every time we would have video, I would be like, hold on, I just have to like delete my childhood and I think I have room for it. Like, it's just like every day because I had
Yeah.
no room anywhere. I'm just like, we don't need baby pictures. I don't need my sets from when I was 20. Like, I was just deleting.
0 from 33 are gone. Like all of Jesus's life would be gone.
Dude, I just like truly like I remember when my parents moved and they were just like your childhood is in the garage, take it with you. And I feel like as someone that's responsible of their own tech technology childhood, I've can't tell you how many times like, "Oh, thank you for this picture." Garbage. "Oh, this set was stupid." Garbage. Like just anything I don't need or I think I don't need in a panicked moment.
I was trying to have find old pictures for my solo show. So when I was back in Ohio, so I was like, Mike, we have like 300 family albums, and he was like, they're in storage. I was like, well, can you get them out? I need them. And he was like, yeah. He got me like four. It's just like, well, so I just don't have access to this anymore. That's what I feel like my computer is. It's just my brother going, yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I
I
guess.
don't really want to.
Is this what you want? No?
Yeah,
What about
no,
this? No? And you're like,
no,
dude, baby pictures. And they're like, what about this set from 2004?
I don't
No!
want that. And I was like, well, we don't have it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I see it. It just won't load. Dude, I mean, the amount of times I'm yelling at my computer being like, I know there's a way to do this. And like, first you do everything that you think you can do. Then I'll curmudgeonly give in and start to Google. And you know, your Google is like, how do you get hard drive to listen to you when you want? And it's like, what? And then you get like these forums that are like, I don't know, I guess this woman wants her computer to listen to her. I'm like, I
Yeah.
cannot.
Mine, they're like, what the fuck is error code 50? Yeah. When I used to smoke, if I wanted like golden something or other, and I'd go to Tesco, which is one of the grocery stores here, and I'd be like, can I have a pack of golden something? And they just didn't want to turn around. They were like, we don't have it. I'm like, it's right there. It's
I
right
see it.
fucking there.
Do you want me to climb on the counter and get it? Like, what is the issue? You tell me how to help you.
No customer service here whatsoever. It's like, they're like, yeah, we're out. I'm like, I'm looking at it.
Dude, get on your little step stool. Ugh. I I had two of the weirdest sets last night. I was in Janesville, Wisconsin for 2 nights, and then I flew in yesterday, which we're gonna have to talk about flying, our poor audience, because I'm now scared. I'm scared.
Oh, it's finally happened. Oh shit.
I'm
Oh, we have to talk about this.
Yeah, well, you know, when you like gut the FAA, yeah, I'm gonna and things start falling out of the sky daily. You know what I mean? Like if I was a student right now, I'd be scared to go to school. There's school shootings like every day. Like that's a legit fear because it's every day. And you know, when you were talking about being scared of flying, I was like, well, it's you know, it's fine. Like it's so rare, but you can't have like three things fall out of the sky in three
Is it
days.
three or is it two? Or you're exaggerating?
No, it's
Exaggerating.
three. No,
What
it's
happened?
three.
Okay,
So
so
it's
here's what I know about. I know about the Potomac River over Washington D.C., the helicopter and the American Airlines flight. I know about the medical flight that was carrying seven Mexican civilians.
I don't have the full detail, but yeah, so it was the American, it was the it was yeah, oh yeah, so it was the American Airlines, the something that felt like hit like a Philadelphia mall, which is like crazy,
Oh, I thought it
and
was
then
Holmes. Like Holmes went up in flames.
yeah, it's just horrible. And
Can you
then
imagine you're just like pouring yourself a tea and you're about to watch like the traders or hacks or something. You're like, oh, it's gonna be a good and then boom, like
yeah, I
flames.
mean, dude, everything that's happening everywhere in the world right now, you're just like, I can't process all of this at the same
Yeah.
time. And then this one's super sad. It was, I think it was like a little Mexican boy that was like either going to a hospital or leaving a hospital, something like that. But it was like a private medical.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, but the two happened in Philadelphia. That's what I know.
God.
Yeah, on top of the Potomac. I'm just like, and the thing is like I've always known the time to be scared is when things take off and when things land. That's when bad things happen. But things get bumpy when you land, but I never thought anything of it. And like, of course, like yesterday, I was like, and I'm like, I can't, I'm not, there's no way for me to control my brain right now.
What's fucked up is that like I had learned that I had read an article and it was before a flight and it's like the article should just not come out ever about how like we are so close to crashing in air. Like collisions are very, very close all the time. And I
Great.
freaked out about it. Then I was like, you'd have heard about it if it happened. Okay, like near is
Yeah.
not, and they're just probably trying to scare you. But then it happened. And then there was the one, the United one I just read about today. It's always United, by the way. I don't know, like
Yeah.
the engine caught on fire before they took off.
I saw that.
So like they had video of it, and then the flight attendant was like, "Could everybody like please take your seats?" And somebody's like, "No, it's on fire." They all had to emergency exit, but it's like,
And everybody's fine on that one. And, thank God. But it's just like, these are flights I take. Like that's a Houston to New York. That's a flight I've taken. Like, you know what I mean? A DC to wherever. Like I've taken these flights. I've been on these flights. Like, I don't know. I'm struggling. I mean, everyone's struggling. I don't want to make this personal, but like, I think it's like this. I feel like it's a rock, you're pressed between a rock and a hard place, right? Because it's like you want to stay informed because that's when you have to push back and sorry about your light. But the light went out inside of you, as I told you, the light in everybody's.
I hate to tell you, but we've already done that joke.
It's going to happen every time we talk about sad stuff. But no, it's just like you want to stay informed because this is the time to push back and understand and be aware and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, to process everything in real time as it's happening, it's like, how are you not just like in bed shaking and crying? And like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we're all in a loss. And like, I saw something that said like, people that had like, Trump 2024 signs in their yard are just kind of like, me. You know what I mean? Like just me. And it's like, yeah, but it's like, and then people saying they regret it. And I was like, what? Because he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
where I'm like, guys.
Like, how bad are your pocketbook's gonna get hit? Like, is this gonna hurt really bad, these tariffs?
So I just read, yes, very much so. So I just read that they paused the Mexico one for a month. They're going to put like, military on the borders or whatever, and they're going to pause the 25% Mexican tariff for a month. I don't know about the other ones. It was supposed to go into effect immediately. It hasn't. I don't know. This is where, again, I don't know enough, but from my understanding, they can't just go into effect. Like Congress has to be a part of it. And everything that he's doing, Congress hasn't been a part of any of it. So everything is like, we're going to do it. And then it doesn't actually happen because there actually are some hypothetical checks. But, we shall see. And I don't know if that's like, I don't know if everything's going to turn out like TikTok, right? Like where it's just like, we're going to ban it. And then it's like, kidding. Like, I mean, in that sense, if that's how everything goes down, then maybe you should just like give it a breath this is what he says he's going to do. Let's give it 2 days to see if it actually happens. But
Yeah.
it's hard not to like like just be on edge constantly.
Yeah.
But, you know, recklessly taking people in a position that they've know what they're doing and it's been their career to take them out arbitrarily, you know, is just like, dude, I don't want some weird Trump guy that like saw a model plane once now being the head of the FAA. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
I want the
No.
last guy. I want the guy that knows what he's doing.
Uh, yeah. The guy running your whole health thing. He's
It's just,
just who is he? He's a Fox News host.
oh, what, the military or
I
RFK
don't
Jr.?
know. I actually don't have the energy. Like I
Yeah. No, it's bad. I mean, it's bad and it's I don't know. Everything feels scary. I feel like this is going to sound really silly, but like I definitely feel like for as long as people can afford it, you know, I do feel good about as somebody that tells cat jokes for a living, giving people like an hour of reprieve
yeah.
from
Yeah.
life. Like
Yeah, for
truly,
sure.
like me and Evan just watched a movie last night, and it's just nice to be like, although we were watching Moneyball,
Okay.
which I'd seen before, but like it was on TV, and I was like, oh, I'd actually like to watch the whole thing. So we sat down and we watched it, and the opening scene is like a baseball game from like the 90s, and like Rudy Giuliani is in it. You know what I mean? Like you could see him in the audience. It was like, and then even Evan said there was some baseball player that just even recently, like something bad happened to his Christian ranch or whatever, and he's, you know, is a bad person. But I was like, oh, none of this is aged. She's like, it is not aged well. But I felt this way during the pandemic. Like I've never had any kind of, I've always felt like what we did was selfish, right? We're passionate about it. We want to make art and, you know, you hope people connect to it. But at the end of the day, I'm making the art that I want to make because I want to make it. But the pandemic, and I do feel like somewhat now, like when things suck, like you need art, dude. You need like a break.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I felt that very hard recently, and I'm just like, can we just watch something and forget about it? Like, I want to watch The Bear and just see him get stressed about this kitchen and food and people being like, "Where's my food?"
Yeah,
No one
yeah,
really
yeah.
does that in The Bear. Yeah.
I just want to
Just
say
like,
yes, chef, every 10 seconds. That's all I want.
yeah. Yeah.
Are people talking about the US more in some ways, or is it like, because I have fans from, you know, international fans that are like, yo, you guys are fucked up right now. Like, just like truly, like, I feel like we got hit by a bus and they're just kind of looking and they're like, you got America, you okay?
You got
America, you're
hit by a
bleeding out.
bus, and then that bus backed up, ran you over, and then it put itself in forward and ran you over again. And then a big gorilla, like King Kong, like came down and then like picked you up and like shook you and then ripped you apart and it ate your entrails. And then those entrails got shat out and those got spread all over a pavement where they built a mall and then and that's when we go, are you guys
Are you guys okay? Did you want this mall?
there
Like,
is so much horrific news coming out of America. And it's just like all of it from every, it's not just Trump, but it's like the fights and the natural disasters and the fires. What is happening to you guys?
no,
How
and
are
it's
you
like,
on Armageddon?
yeah, and if you don't even know that much about America other than like, you know, Starbucks and, you know, fucking New York City, you're like now learning about our legislation. Like there's been a couple of UK stuff where like I have to learn about your parliament and like all your different people and everybody's like, I'm like, I've seen a couple of infightings, you know, happening and you're like, oh, I have to learn about why he's able to say that to that guy. But it's like you now have to learn like US history to know how bad shit is. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you
I
know
don't
that
know.
song, Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster, that was on Office Space?
Yeah.
And it was like, and now a word from our president. And he's like, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. I had no idea that that would just be our actual president.
Yeah.
Just some guy being
Foresh-
like, okay, whatever the fuck I want. And then we're all like,
foreshadowing.
yes, we have to. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna need to pull my hair back, okay? Or
You
I
do
can't
that.
focus on
I, ha-
anything.
I have a hair tie on my wrist. Do you want it?
It's so smart. I wish. I wish.
Hey, everybody. I'm by myself. The cats are truly
Talking to
just.
me?
No, I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, what are you saying?
I was telling them about how the cats are like truly wind sprinting from one side of my apartment to the other.
Did I send you that meme where like it was like how to have a Zoom call, and the guy had his cat taped to the wall?
Yes,
The cat
I
was
saw
like,
that. 100%. I have a meeting after this, and I was like, I can't wait for that to just be like, sorry.
Just cats flying across the room.
Just pure insanity. Lunch is doing this thing where he's like, he hasn't done it in a while, where he just won't eat his breakfast for no goddamn reason. So now I'm like spoon feeding it. Like this morning I fed him. He looked at it. He walked away. I spoon fed him a little bit, and then I sat next to him and I just watched him, and he ate it. And I was like, hey, I can't do this. Oh man. And I had a dream about being pregnant last night. Maybe
Oh,
that's why it is, because like lunch has been like real needy in a way. But I had a dream that I was pregnant, and I had told Evan in the dream, like, I know we said I wouldn't have a kid, but this just happened, and I don't want to have this kid, but I'm pretty sure you can't abort it the day before you're supposed to have it.
or in your country.
Yeah, no, yeah, at all. But it was like I didn't know how I got pregnant. Like that was half the dream, and I was just like, I know this isn't what we talked about. It was so weird.
Yeah, that is
And I
very
just like in the dream was just like, I know this is what neither of us wanted, and I don't know how it happened. Which might be, how the country is.
That's a metaphor for the country, 100%. Neither of us wanted this.
I didn't want to carry this. Yeah. I don't want to carry this burden. I can't do this for 18 years.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Well, hey. Anything good out of the UK? Anything?
You guys doing any good stuff? No?
No, we're avoiding the tariffs for now, but it's still going to affect us because Europe's. If they get tariffs, it's going to affect us, and whatever. Can we skip past all that?
Yeah. We don't
Yeah.
talk about tariffs. We got cats.
I don't even like that word, tariff.
Tariff. Dude. It's,
I was so bored on stage the other day. Are we talking about cats? My bad.
no, say what you're saying.
I was just so bored on stage the other day with like what I was saying that I said Europe and I went Europe.
Europe. Europe.
And then I got off stage and the other comedians were like Europe. I think I spent 5 minutes just saying Europe weird.
I like it, like a little frog. Europe.
Europe. All right.
Is Europe in the house?
But you know what? I just my head isn't in it anymore. I'm just like, I don't know, guys. I'm sorry.
Guys, I'm half here.
I think my Live at the Apollo thing. I don't know why they cut out the airplane joke because it's pretty relevant now. But
Oh, they cut out that one too? I knew they cut out the, what do you call it? Coptic vows.
Coptic wedding vows and the airplane joke and the Scottish jokes and the optimism. But whatever. Anyway,
Whatevs.
what were you going to say about your cats?
Oh, I just wish we had some camera that was from different angles, because he's like, where I dry my clothes, he's like just looking like the most ridiculous. They're endless fun and a disaster all at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
I think I need, one, to have something to yell at, and two, just to look up from what I'm doing and being like, you guys are dumb. I love it so much.
You kind of like living in chaos.
Yeah, but like chaos I chose. I chose this chaos.
Right. It's like your because you have a lot of stuff and it could be seen as chaotic, but you know where everything is and there's a thing to it. There's organization to it even if it doesn't look like it. So it's like
Yeah.
organized chaos is kind of like your life.
Yeah, no, I feel like I've mastered organized chaos, and the same way I feel like I mastered responsible irresponsibility. Like truly, you know, when you were in math class and like you couldn't just get the right answer, you had to show your work. So like you would get, let's say, 2 points for the right answer, but you would also get a point for showing your work and the work being correct. I feel like my work is always like, that ain't how you were supposed to get there. I was like, but I got there. And they're like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And you're like, the answer's right though. And they're like, but you
That
shouldn't
just
go
shows
that
that
way.
you cheated.
Yeah.
They made it.
They're just like, you took 18 extra steps. I was like, who cares? I got here.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're mad. Why am I being yelled at? You want to do announcements?
Yeah, we have a fan mail if
Ooh.
you want to read that too.
Yeah, let's do a fan mail.
Okay. You want to do your announcements while I look it up?
Yeah, oh sure. Okay, when this comes out. Okay, I'll be in Rutherford, New Jersey for Valentine's Day weekend, so the 14th and the 15th of February. And then I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe the 20th to the 23rd of February at Duckworth's. Then I'm in Miami on the 24th, I believe, or the 23rd. I can't remember. It's all on my website. And then I booked a bunch of other stuff in April and May, like Salt Lake City and New Orleans and somewhere else. I can't remember. LA. It's all on my website, lizmealy.com.
When are you going to LA?
Well, I'm going twice. I'm going in March because Evan had that editing award show that he was nominated for. It was supposed to be in January, and now it's in March. And then I'm going to be performing at the end of April in LA.
I want to go.
Uh-huh. Continue.
We'll talk about it. All right. Advice request. Howdy, my two non-doctor friends. Just wanted to say that I'm a big fan. Would you mind giving me some life advice? I live near Austin, and it's recently become somewhat of a comedy hub. The problem is, though, there's so much good talent here that everything is booked weeks or months in advance. The open mic spots are given through lottery systems. If you two were both to pick up and move to Austin, what steps would you take to try and get some decent stage time? Would love to have the insider's perspective from my favorite two non-doctors. Love and respect from Texas.
I feel bad. I would never.
Move to Austin.
I mean, that scene, so I'm gonna give you the advice as if that scene was New York, because I think what you're pushing up against is the saturation of, yes, there's a lot of stage time, but also there's a lot of comedians. And I was just talking to a young comedian that opened for me in Wisconsin, and he was like, you know, that endless question of when should I move and should I move to LA or New York? Is that still a thing? And I was like, I don't know if it is as much a thing with the fact that you can audition via Zoom. Like almost all my auditions are via Zoom. You can build a fan base by social media. People can find out about you, and it doesn't have to be that you're in one or the other, as well as the fact that the scenes have changed drastically. And if you're still growing as a comedian to go somewhere saturated like New York or even LA, where it's just harder to get stage time because there's less stage time, now all of a sudden you stopped your ability to grow, right? Because before you were in a smaller market and you were able to get up more frequently and get better as a comic. And then if you go somewhere where it's saturated, you start back in the open mics and it's harder to grow. So, I mean, he's already in Austin, so it is what it is. But I mean, I don't know enough about the scene there. I would just say if you're having a hard time getting up for open mics and stuff, it's about kind of creating your own space. And I know for New York, especially, it would be so saturated here that comics would get frustrated. They would start their own bar show, and they would become known by having this really popular, awesome bar show. So I'm always of the, if you can't find the opportunities, make the opportunities. But there's got to be a night that you could put a show on, or a group of friends that you make out there that you put something on together and share the responsibility. But my thing is to always, if you can't find the opportunity, make the opportunity.
That was exactly my advice, is start a room. And then I think the more people who start rooms, the more rooms you can do, because you can just trade. But start a room, then you'll have the regular stage time, and then if other people start rooms, you can exchange the stage time. Because it sounds like what's happening is there's only a few rooms and thousands of comics, and not enough people are starting their own rooms yet. Because you can have 1,000 rooms and 1,000 comics, you'd still get the stage time. It wouldn't be quality, but that doesn't matter at this stage.
Yeah.
I think you just need to get up and get the words out of your mouth and try it on for size. So just, yeah, absolutely. Just start a room, start your own room. Maybe do it on the outskirts of Austin if you want a real audience.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say as well, is that maybe branching out of just centralized Austin because they have more comedy clubs there. Like there's been a comedy boom. So that if you go somewhere where people, don't always want to go into the city and deal with parking and dealing with all that stuff. Like even like a good example is like this weekend I was in Janesville, Wisconsin. So that's 45 minutes from Chicago. That's 45 minutes from Madison. But, to create your own little hub so that people on the outskirts don't have to drive in the same way that when we performed in Batavia, which is probably about 45 minutes outside of Chicago as well. So like that might be the move, both outskirts and starting your own room and being able to bring in, the friends and comics and give stage time to different voices. Because I think the other slight issue with Austin is it's a broy, place where they're kind of just having one perspective. And what I really appreciated about New York is that because people started rooms everywhere, it gave voices to, I think of somebody, some of these comics that just are on the outskirts that didn't sound like anybody else and didn't have it. Now we have clubs that are just like the Stand is kind of a broy place, but there's tons of places that either one include diversity and or the outskirts, the alternative comedy scene was able to like give people a voice, make them big enough that the clubs brought them in.
Yeah, but good luck and get a good tape, and then just start traveling yourself. Like start sending it out to other cities and
Yeah.
go.
The goal is just to get up. Truly. Like nothing replaces writing and getting up and getting comfortable and getting good and finding your voice. So it's like if that's the goal, who cares where you do it? Just go be funny. And good luck.
Yeah.
Did you have any announcements? Because you read
None. I mean, just go to my website if you want to find out where I am.
Okay, and then thank you to all our patrons, and everybody that tips on YouTube. Thank you for following us. We put out clips every week. This is on YouTube, if you don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram at 2nondrs, the number 2, and then everything else except for Twitter at 2nondoctors, forward doctors, number 2. And write to us at gmail.com. It's the number 2, forward doctors.
Can I do my Google first because it's stupid?
Yes. I love it. I can't wait to hear your stupid Google.
Thank you so much. So I've been. Yes.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm as the more intelligent one. Let me put on my glasses. I've been off coffee, I think, a little over a month. And I've replaced it with green tea. I'm drinking some green tea right now. And matcha lattes. I love just a milky beverage that makes me feel... I don't know what... I know everybody feels this way. I can't start my day without a beverage. And I don't want to hang out with my friends without a beverage. I don't know if I've been brainwashed or if there's something about a warm beverage or like an iced beverage that makes... friendship, like I don't know which one started. Like the beverage makes me feel close to my friends, or beverages remind me of my friends, but a beverage just feels like happiness.
I get it. I mean, like we start the podcast, I got to make sure I have like a hot tea or coffee.
How many times have you called me and I was like, I'm making a cup of coffee, call me in 5. Like I was like, I can do this.
Yeah, it's the thing. It just goes with everything. But yeah.
So I got super, I think I talked about it before. I got super into matcha lattes. I got all the things. I got and like everything. And I know matcha's good for you, but like, is it with the milk? Like, am I just kidding myself? So my Google was, are matcha lattes good for you? Because I think that's specific. Like if I was making little matcha whatevers. So AI overview. Matcha lattes can provide some health benefits, but it's important to consume them in moderation and be aware of the potential downsides. There are antioxidants, so it's rich in antioxidants, including catechins. That's not right. Which may help against cell damage and inflammation. Studies suggest it may help lower blood pressure and cortisol levels, reducing your risk of heart disease. Matcha contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes relaxation and improved focus. Sure. Some evidence about boosting metabolism, and I don't know if that's true, especially since I'm drinking whole milk. But the downsides, high caffeine content. I mean, I don't think it's as high as coffee, but I do remember I got really into making my own iced green tea because you made it when you stayed with me years ago. And I'll make a vat of it. And I had to very quickly turn it into half calf because I was just nursing green tea all day. And I was like, why am I shaking? Yeah. So I do know if I have too much of even tea caffeine, I'm a mess. So I do know that after my second cup of green tea, it has to be decaf, which is just sad. I'm just at a level where I'm just oh my God, I'm freaking out over green tea. Then there's sugar content. I think neither of us are pretending that Starbucks matcha lattes have anything other than probably flavoring and whatever. I wanted more like the whatever. So I just put honey in mine. I put a lot of honey in mine, but I still put honey. And then they were like, it's expensive. And I was like, yeah, but I'm doing it from home and I'm pretty proud of myself. I've definitely saved money. I'll tell you that. Whether it's good for me or not, I've saved so much money because I haven't bought coffee and whatever. I've had a couple chai lattes and that's it. And then, yeah, they basically say 1 or 2 is fine. I think it's moderate. I don't think either of us can pretend anything with sugar and milk. It's it's an unnecessary calorie intake, but I think if you're going to replace something, I think I did a decent job replacing coffee right now.
Great.
I'm really proud of myself. And I haven't had gluten in a month and a half. And I'll be honest, this weekend, pretty hard. You really go to Bumblefuck America and they are I was ordering from this bar not too far from my hotel. And they're like, oh, but we have this. And I was like, that's gluten. She's like, is it?
That's funny. What did she offer you?
I don't even remember, but it was so cute. She's like, is it? Even Evan has been like, that's gluten? I was like, yeah, dude, that's gluten. What are we doing here?
Nobody knows what gluten is. Oh man.
But
Johnny and I make burritos, and I was like, we should get the whole wheat tortillas just to try to be a little bit better. I'm trying to have no white carbs. And you got the whole wheat ones, and I was like, these actually taste sweeter. I think they put sugar in it to make it better.
Because it sucks.
Yeah, but just let it suck.
Just let it suck, dude.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, my gross bread hasn't been available at the store for 2 weeks, and I'm like, I need my gross bread, guys. Yeah. There's no way other people are buying this. Come on.
You were the only one, and it's finally gone.
They had a back order from 2 years ago.
Yeah. You got rid of that shit. And you're like, where's it? Never bringing it back. No, never. Okay.
This is a tangent, but my Whole Foods has been changing things around every fucking week. Every week something is somewhere different. It's driving me up the wall. And I just want to sit somebody down and be like, who's going through a divorce? Who's doing this? Why? The chips have moved 4 times in a month. Find a place and leave them there. I don't know what's happening. What is happening? It's insane. Makes me crazy. All right, I'm ready.
I was just picturing some manager crying in the office, and then the employee's like, so it's time for me to go home. I'm just going to clock out. Move the chips. I don't think we need to.
I don't think we've had 16 complaints.
Move the chips.
He loved them on the first floor. Move them to the second floor in the back. It's insane. Everything is somewhere else every week. They've been hiding my bread. 3 times I've had to been like, what did you do with my gross bread? Guys. I'm in a dungeon. I was like, I know nobody wants it, but why is it here?
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Mine was
ready.
what is a dry drunk? Because
Wait, say it again.
what is a dry drunk?
Oh, I know this, but continue.
Oh, good. Because I still don't really understand it. I mean, basically, I was listening to Mark Maron's podcast and he was talking to somebody and they both stopped drinking and they said they were a dry drunk. And I was like, what the fuck's a dry drunk? I don't know why. I was really drunkenly angry about it, even though I'm sober. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that is just so you know, that's 100% what it is.
Just drunken behavior, sober.
Yes, so it's the same behavior that is the reason that you drink, but you don't drink.
So the physical symptoms is so there's like physically you're off alcohol, but mentally and emotionally you're still displaying the same sorts of things.
Exactly. If you are a chaotic person, if you were an angry person, if you were a violent person, if you were a sad person, if you were an erratic person, whatever is your behavior that you would do while drunk or lead you to get drunk, you're just doing it, but the alcohol isn't there. So it's like, that's why somebody would be like, oh, he's just a dry drunk, as a saying, like he got rid of the symptom, but he didn't fix the cause.
Right.
But what did the internet say?
That. Okay, so I'm on a site called octoberroadincorporated.net. I
Yes,
don't know
that's
how
where
I
I
got
get
here.
all my information from.
I don't know how I got here. I was trying to avoid AI, and now I'm in the weirdest place ever. Feels like it's based out of a city outside of Portland.
Yeah.
The term dry drunk originated in AA and refers to someone who has quit drinking but still exhibits the negative behaviors and attitudes that were prevalent during their active addiction. So they're not physically dependent on alcohol, but they haven't addressed the underlying emotional and psychological aspects. I want some examples though. So this can happen. Okay. So when someone stops drinking but fails to address the underlying issues, they may continue to struggle with feelings of resentment, anger, or frustration. There is a lack of self-reflection, unresolved emotional issues, absence of a support system, and unrealistic expectations. So the symptoms of a dry drunk are irritability and mood swings. Many individuals who are experiencing a dry drunk may exhibit anger, frustration, or irritability. Self-pity. They feel victimized. Focusing on their life's perceived unfairness rather than recognizing their role in making positive changes. Resentment towards others, nostalgia for drinking, longing for the good old days of drinking, or downplaying the adverse impact alcohol had on their life, and stubbornness. They sound like dickheads.
I'm like, I know 16 dry drunks. I'm like,
No,
oh God.
I think I'm a dry drunk, and it's nothing to do with alcohol. So, I mean, yeah, that's that.
Yeah, and I think it's different in everybody, but I think it's truly like if being drunk, if the reason you were drunk was because of these behaviors, you fix that, but you don't fix any of the underlying stuff.
So you're just white knuckling it through life because everything is still really horrible. You just don't have now you don't have an outlet because you don't have the tools to deal with whatever.
100%. I think that's 100% what it is. And then I also think like, so you came to the conclusion alcohol isn't helping me. Great start, right? But then afterwards you're like, not everything still does suck. Like I don't understand. And so that's where I think the deeper level comes in, where I do think AA meetings can help. I think therapy can help, finding out if there is some kind of underlying trauma or situation that led you to this. But even as somebody that I don't think I ever had an issue with like drugs or alcohol. Like I never had a problem quitting them. I did them, whatever. But I definitely had like, let's say like dry drunk behavior, in the sense that I was all those things for a while because I couldn't deal with the underlying issue of what was bothering me, like being in touch with my feelings and understanding stuff. So it's like weirdly like that list I really related to, especially in my like 20s while I was like not doing anything else and I don't feel like I had a problem, but I genuinely could not fix the underlying, I couldn't see, let alone fix the underlying issues of why I was so deeply unhappy.
Yeah. And you still
But yeah, I
haven't.
think,
No, I'm just kidding.
say it again?
I said, and you still haven't. 10 years of therapy later.
And I'm like, and I'm just all stubborn. I'm just like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And so the only reason you Googled it was because of the podcast?
Yeah, I also had brought it up to somebody because we were talking about somebody who was at this thing, but he quit drinking, but he was like out till 6 in the morning or something with everyone else who was doing cocaine, but he wasn't doing cocaine. Where I was like, that sounds like a dry drunk.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Where you're just like while they're sniffing, he just memes it. He's like,
Yeah. It's like, and I'm like, there's shit you're not dealing with.
he's like, no, it actually helped. Like if I just pretend I'm doing it, my brain thinks I did it, and then I'm like, guys, I'm also up here.
Yeah. I'm like, pathetic. And then I'm drinking like a 0% Guinness and pretending to smoke a straw.
Yes, we're all just like lighting pretzels on fire. And people are like, that's got to be included in that. I definitely
Yeah.
think misusing pretzel sticks is definitely an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, all right, I think we did something.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure. All right.
everybody, get your life together. Try a matcha latte. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be so annoying.
I know. I'm proud of you for switching it out. That's good.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to be healthy. Okay,
Thanks.
we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.